In my mind, there is not a better way to frame the day than being on a bike in the morning and at the end of the day. I did used to joke when people would ask me how I get motivated to commute on a bicycle for 2 hours, and I used to kind of half jokingly say, well, you sell your car. Because if you have just one car between you and your spouse, and she needs the car, then I still got to get to work. So for years we had just one car, and this stretch is not wide enough for the car and bicycle to share the lane. So I move out from the curb just a little bit to let the driver know that any boaters behind me, that to pass they'll need to move over.
We're not riding on the street because we want to piss you off. We're not riding on the street because we want to be in your way. We're riding on the street because that's the safest place for us to ride.
Since I'm interacting with the same motorists day in and day out, if I'm courteous to them, there's a much higher likelihood of them being courteous to me when the situation arises.
The very first time that I was ever hit by a car, how does that sound? First time I was hit by a car, it was when I was when I rode on the sidewalk. I was crossing a cross street from a sidewalk to the sidewalk on the other side. That was when I went, hey, I need to do some research and figure out how I can ride to work, and that's when I found out, okay, yes, riding in the street is the safest place to do it. And I was hit. It was just a mile and a half from my house. I was crossing Ferguson. All my ribs on this side were broken, collapsed into my lungs. All my vertebrae broken. Had a traumatic brain injury. Did have on a helmet. Thank goodness I had on a helmet. My wife said, well, that's great, but I know my husband, and if he walks out of here, he's going to get back on that bicycle for 150 to 200 miles a week, so doing that with one lung would be a little challenging. If we can preserve lung capacity, that would be ideal. So my x-rays are really impressive now. You know, probably the same thing that runners enjoy. You know, you have a lot of alone time to think. When my wife notices if I'm off the bike for a week. She notices that because I'm a little edgier and you know, obviously not as relaxed and as content, if you will. Just have a thing for human-powered transportation, I think.